What is going on, JPP family? We are back for week number 3's team prep here, and it is going to be a little more of a concise team prep. We learned our lessons from the last one. Yes. Introduce
and welcome Fab 5.
Yes, just interrupting this guy. SwamiStudios is here. This is the first one on the Pokemon Fab 5. I decided to move these over here. A little more content, a little more of an encouragement for you guys to do this. This is the NPA Battle Team Prep. If you don't know what this is, you can check it out on my channel. Basically, we're getting ready for week number 3. My Cincinnati Crobats, Pokemon competitive Wi-Fi battling. I know it's weird. Facing off against the St. Louis Swamperts and Korethemangamer. So, he's got a funny name, but really he's a good dude, and we're going to be taking on his Swamperts this week. We've had a tough loss last week, but there was a lot of things learned. One of the things we learned, though, is that you guys probably don't want to sit through a 56-minute video of us talking about stuff, even though it was highly educational. Thank you, Swami. So we're going to get right to it and try to kind of keep this thing under, 20, 30 minutes, and then see how you guys like that. Leave your feedback, leave your thoughts. We are on the way to prep for stuff. So I'm going to let Swami take over here, and he is going to be giving the master class of Pokemon Wi-Fi battling as per usual, while I take notes, add a few insights, and we're just going to do this thing, guys. Hope you have fun and enjoy it, and it spurs some thoughts of Wi-Fi battling for you guys.
Yes. So thank you so much for the introduction, and before I get into it, let me just say one thing. We are 1-1. And JPP, in his first battle with the league, was one move away at the end of the battle from winning. So I got to give him credit. It was one move. If he had switched into his Emolga instead of letting the Tentacruel take that Bolt Strike on the second turn, he would have won the battle. So, you know what? That's really close. I give him a lot of credit for his first battle against a good battler. It was a great competitive one. Made some mistakes early, cleaned them up, got that close. Now you're tasting it. Now you're ready for the next one.
That's right. That's right.
With that being said, good thing I'm recording
your voice. And we're back.
Okay.
I think this should be good.
All right. And if it's not, we still have your voice. So
I'm going to keep an eye on this over here while we take a look. All right.
Yes.
So we're going to take a look at his team here and our team.
Yes. So we decided to build the team a little bit before the battle, and now we're going to refine it this time around. So I have a rough draft that I'll explain to you guys as we go along, and we'll make some final decisions. So we'll take a look at our team. Just as a refresher, we have Chansey, Nidoqueen, Tentacruel, Stoutland, Vanillix, Flareon, Mega Gallade, Lucario, Staraptor, Emolga, and Meganium. Mega Gallade is currently our MVP with 4 kills to 1 death. Really good job.
Sorry about that.
Hey, your Destiny Bond was a good move. So
I didn't. It's all in the sets, man. It's all in the sets. It depends on what we use here. It's not, it sounds stupid to say, but to me, my first impressions of this team since it was my first week battling was, there are some surprises there. I didn't think Tentacruel was going to perform as well as it did. Once I got used to that thing, though, hey, in the right situation, there are no slouches on this team. It's a stout draft. No pun intended, Stoutland. And I'm excited about the 6 that we're going to bring. Because we talked about it a little bit here, and I think we've made some good progress towards exposing a lot of weaknesses that Core has.
Absolutely. And one of the things I'm going to mention, Tentacruel being weak to ground. We have a good amount of ground weakness on this team. And one of the things that Tentacruel will be able to benefit from when we move forward is if we can add a little bit more of a defensive Pokemon, something else that we can switch in, we can throw an air balloon on this thing. So you don't have to risk taking an Earthquake from it if you want to get an Acid Spray off in the future. So that'll be something that we can look into in terms of finding something in the free agent pool or something in there. But
definitely.
We'll take a look at the St. Louis Swamperts. And it is a team composed of Conkeldurr, Gothitelle, Tornadus Incarnate, Magneton, Moltres, Furfrou, Mega Swampert, Dragonite, Forretress, Gourgeist, and Raticate. So the first thing that jumps out to me is anytime you see a Gothitelle core with a Conkeldurr, that screams Trick Room.
Yep. For you guys that don't know, Trick Room is a move that makes for 5 turns, I believe it still is. Yes. The Pokemon that is the slowest of the 2 move first. So you get all these big, bulky, slow bastards, and all of a sudden the script is flipped if they can do that. So you have to really, really think about that, and it messes a lot of people up that aren't ready for it. So yes, definitely got to be prepared for that. We might, want to consider getting rid of that, slowing, having a little bit slower pace, which is why I'm really glad we have Nidoqueen.
Yes, Nidoqueen, even though I want it to be a little bit faster, just because if Trick Room's not up, we want to be able to outspeed some threats that could be threatening to it. Namely, probably Mega Swampert, namely maybe Magneton, something like that, both in that 70 speed tier. But the Gothitelle showcases that this could be a Trick Room team. Now, his choices are a little bit interesting. So, he's currently 0-2, and his choices for team, he's brought the Magneton both times, the Swampert both times, the Forretress twice, the Gourgeist twice, and the Dragonite, Furfrou, Moltres, and Gothitelle all once. He did use Trick Room when he brought the Gothitelle, so it seems that's a little bit of a situational Pokemon. He also brought it the time, I believe that he brought it with the Moltres, but the point is that he likes his hazards. And from his team builder that he didn't use a ton of status. His Moltres did have Will-O-Wisp the one time he brought it, though. So, that's an interesting little aside, that he has brought a variety of Pokemon, but it's a little bit interesting to see. So, I mapped out his team's weaknesses. So, he has 3 Pokemon that are weak to Fire-type, being the Magneton, being the Forretress, which is 4 times weak, and being the Gourgeist. He has 1 water weakness, being the Moltres. 1 grass weakness, being the Mega Swampert, which gets hit really hard by that.
X4.
Yes. 2 electric weaknesses, being the Moltres and being the Tornadus. 3 ice weaknesses, including 1 times 4, being the Dragonite after its multi-scale is broken. The other 2 are Tornadus and, of course, Gourgeist. 2 flying, Conkeldurr and Gourgeist. 1 poison, Gourgeist. I think poison is super effective against. I'm not positive, but poison's not that all that important for us in this match. 1 ground weakness, and it's times 4, being the Magneton. 3 rock weaknesses, including 1 times 4, times 2, times 4, and times 2 for the Dragonite. No steel, 1 psychic, being the Conkeldurr, 2 dark, the Gothitelle, and the Gourgeist. And then 2 bug, 2 ghost, 1 fairy, 1 dragon. And the fairy and dragon are one and the same with the Dragonite. So that's kind of the breakdown of what his team is weak to, and we can work with that. So we're going to take a look at the team builder that we've done here, and the first Pokemon we have is Staraptor. So there's something that I'm going to run by you right here. It's a good starting point, I think, and this is exactly the question that I want to start off with. So the set that we have for this Staraptor is a Choice Scarf Reckless set, 4 HP. We're going to get rid of this number here because that's the one that we're going to debate. 252 attack, Adamant Nature. Double-edged close combat, Brave Bird, U-turn. All right?
Okay.
So we have 2 options here. If we put Staraptor up to... I don't remember what exactly...
It's 204 outspeeds. That's
yes, 204 EVs. We get Staraptor up to 204 EVs. Then this outspeeds Dragonite at +1. If it Dragon Dances. If we have it at 0, it outspeeds everything on his team that isn't Choice Scarfed. Which would you rather go with?
See, but then you have to take into account the Trick Room thing, right?
Yes.
And then even if we set up to outspeed and he Trick Rooms, then Dragonite outspeeds anyway because it's an asshole. Right?
If he Trick Rooms, Staraptor's going to be the slowest thing no matter what.
Right, so it doesn't matter in that sense. Okay.
So would you rather add some bulk to it?
It's not there for bulk.
No, but if you need to get 2 hits off, okay, this gives you the opportunity to.
I like being safe. I do, because, I will make some unpredictable and reckless type of plays, in quotation marks for people. And I feel like if I have any HP left, then I can always just double edge and be like, you know what? I'm gone. But you are too.
Take a look at this. This is a standard Mega Swampert set.
Yep.
Look how much damage he does to you. Look how much damage you do to him.
Pretty simple. I like it. Okay.
So we're going the full 252 on defense.
Yeah, not getting knocked out. I want him to get
Because take a look
frustrated
what
because I
happens
want
if
him
we-
to assume, hey, Ice Punch will knock this bitch out. Yeah, see? Exactly.
Yeah,
I want him to assume that he's going to one-hit KO me and then have some trouble on his hands when he's got his HP, when he's weakened a little bit at least by this thing. I want to have a fighting chance. That's like part of the way that I battle, too, is like,
Yes.
you know, if I've got any HP left, I'm going to be a bastard.
I'm just going
not
to
going to
give you
get one-hit KO'd.
I'm just going to give you a little bit of heads up.
Yeah.
You're going to lose a lot of health from a Brave Bird or a Double Edge.
Yeah.
But you should, based on this calculation, you should be able to survive.
That's what I mean. Is you know, even if I don't, like, say, you know, for some reason he's Trick Room, goes first, Ice Punch, boo, that sucks. Okay, fine, fuck you, Double Edge. You know, whatever it is. If I'm in that situation, I can at least weaken it to where the next Pokemon's going to come in and clean up.
Yes, and also Stoutland just deals with everything because of Intimidate.
Right. So
Because look at what happens to Mega Swampert when you put it at -1.
one Intimidate puts it at almost half damage. I see that. Okay.
So yeah, that's a huge difference.
Yeah.
Obviously.
Yeah, I
It's
was
just something to keep in mind.
definitely had that down. You know, first battle was like, okay, I'm going to bring this in, going to drop down one. That's going to mess him up. He's going to have to sit there and think, which he did. I had a nice little dance party while he was trying to figure out one of the things I was doing. So,
Yeah.
you know, it was good.
So, yeah, I think, you know, by doing this, because the max speed that any Pokemon that he has can get is Tornadus Incarnate, which is 111, which gets up to 169 speed. You're going to be 180. So, you're pretty much in the clear in that regard. If we did Choice Band, there was a chance that it could outspeed you, so I don't want to do that.
Right. Okay.
So we're going to go with this set. And I think going with the bulk gives us a little bit more flexibility in what we want to do. Yeah. And I chose to put in defense of something like HP because that Mega Swampert is a problem. It'll be a dangerous Pokemon. So
Good with that. Good with that.
So now we have Staraptor. That's good. One.
Yep.
Next up, we have the Nidoqueen.
Yes.
And
I was disappointed, man, last week. And I know you can't say last week this, last week that, because the teams are always different. The strategy is always different.
Yes.
But I was disappointed I couldn't get more familiar with Nidoqueen battling last week. You know, right away I brought it in. It went to it was probably at about 52% HP. I was a wuss, didn't put it back in much, and it really just ended up falling for basically no reason. Didn't do much for me. But this week, I see this set, and again, I've been familiar with these because we've been looking at it before we started this.
Yes.
I like that this thing covers a lot of stuff. The Ice Beam, in particular, hey, 4X on a couple, I believe a couple, if not just one. Either way, I feel comfortable because I see a lot of different typings of these moves. I think it can be a good cleaner upper of Pokemon.
Yes. Well, here's something just to keep in mind.
Okay.
Stealth Rock breaks multi-scale. Dragonite can be a huge threat. Your Ice Beam will not one hit it with multi-scale. Mm-hmm. If it has any damage, it'll destroy it.
Right.
The Fortress will get annihilated by Flamethrower. It has Sturdy, but it'll take it down to its Sturdy. Earth Power will annihilate Magneton. So the 4 times ground weakness is covered. The 4 times fire weakness is covered. The 4 times ice weakness is covered. Stealth Rock, there. So Stealth Rock deals with breaking the proverbial sash on any Pokemon, which is good to have. Mm-hmm. Because if it has Sturdy, now it doesn't, basically. And also because there's no chance to burn or anything like that because you're Sheer Force, which makes it a beautiful Pokemon. But
right, so if we get into that situation with Fortress, then, you know, drop the Stealth Rocks in there to get rid of it, take the hit, Flamethrower, you're done.
Yeah, pretty much, because it's not going to hit you hard.
Or it makes him switch, and then I can go, hey,
Yes.
okay, I'll switch too, fine.
Yes.
Gotcha.
So one of the things is that if you see a Fortress, and we'll get into this as we get a little bit further, if you see Fortress on his team and you don't see Tornadus, you're leading Gallade.
Okay.
Because Gallade with a Sword Stance can take out almost every single thing on his team except for the Moltres in one hit.
So you're saying... Let me don't get me excited.
Basically...
So you're saying... No. So you're saying if he doesn't bring Tornadus, then I lead Mega Gallade, Swords Dance, and he is royally just going to have a lot of trouble with my team.
You're not going to want to jump the gun like that. But
Okay,
if he
you got me
leads,
excited, man.
But basically, if you lead Gallade and he leads Fortress, you have the benefit of a Tentacruel with Rapid Spin.
Yeah.
So his hazards don't mean jack shit.
Right. Yeah.
You got a Swords Dance up. If he goes for his hazards, then fine. If he goes for spikes, you could set up a second Swords Dance if you really wanted to.
Wow.
Because at that point, Mega Gallade outspeeds every single one of his Pokemon except for Tornadus. Tornadus gets to 179. 179. We're at 180. That's why I put it down to 120. So 179, we're 178. That's max speed Tornadus. I don't know if he'll do max speed, but just to be safe, Tornadus with Hurricane can knock you out. So you just want to be a little bit careful of that. Acrobatics might be able to too. But that's just the point that if you don't see a Tornadus on his team, a Swords Dance has a shot. I think it with the Mega Gallade. I think with the attacks we have that the Moltres at the normal set would be that. I don't know if it'll actually be this type of set, but Mega Gallade level 50 plus 2.
You still got Moltres at 100.
Yeah. Plus 2.
Okay.
Psycho Cut. So, Psycho Cut 94 to 111.
Okay.
At plus 2. So that's still a 70% chance basically to knock it out with no investment. So yeah, if you want to do that, that's going to be a little bit harder, but it's just the point that, if he wanted to, he could have a shot to knock you out back, but that's the point, that the Moltres, if he doesn't bring either of them, you're in a really good spot, and if you don't see Tornadus, then you could really start that.
With the 70% chance, I feel good at making an aggressive play right there to take out one of the biggest threats on his team.
Yes.
If it doesn't work out, then technically I'm worse off, but, you got to give it a shot with some of this stuff. Sometimes it's just up to the math.
Yeah, and also Psycho Cut has a high crit ratio, so that could be really good. Especially, if he switches into Moltres, that's a terrible decision. But if he doesn't switch in, then, it'll be a little bit difficult, but it's a 70% chance you KO, and it's a 70% chance he hits.
Right.
So it's pretty even. You have a real shot. But Gallade is, as important as it is, you can make a call there if you wanted to, if you want to switch out into something else. But point being, that was just a little side note. So we're back to Nidoqueen. Magneton at non-speed boosting nature. So Mega Swampert and Magneton non-boosting nature hit 122. Mm-hmm. That's why I wanted this to be 123.
I see the investment. I see its worth.
I
like outspeeding stuff. I just worry about that Trick Room.
Yeah, I mean, I thought, a little bit less in terms of HP investment. We'll get to outspeed those because the Magneton's important if it's not timid. Mm-hmm. Because we'll get an Earth Power off against that thing.
Right.
I doubt he'll stay in, but then you get a free Earth Power off unless he has, whatever. Or you could go for a Flamethrower because that could still do a lot of damage to anything. Mm-hmm. But the Swampert shouldn't be able to take that hit very well anyway. Life Orb, Sheer Force, Earth Power still should do a lot to it. And just because it could potentially knock you out, it'd probably be safer to make sure that you could outspeed anything that's not plus nature. And generally people will want to do Adamant or something on a Swampert, so they might want to put more bulk in it. So that was my concept behind this Nidoqueen. What do you think?
I'm good with that. You got stuff that can deal with more stuff. The more versatile a Pokemon is, the better for my relative inexperience. So the only thing I worry about, like I said, is the Trick Room concept, because I've always got to keep that in the back of my mind. If I see it, do I stall 5 turns, kind of ish, because I'm always going to be going second, and then none of this speed stuff that we're talking about matters.
The only Pokemon that could really annihilate you in Trick Room would be Conkeldurr.
Okay.
The rest are not hard enough hitters. That's just how it is.
Okay.
So
it's odd then to me that he would have a Trick Room team.
It's a Trick Room build that if you wanted to go negative nature on something, you could, but you have to get Trick Room up, and that's why we put the Mega Gallade with the knockoff. And I'll get back to that when we get to it.
Okay.
Next up, Stoutland.
Yep.
Return. Rock Tomb. Thunderwave.
Return.
Ice Fang.
Return with the correct happiness.
Thank you. Okay, so Rock Tomb is for Moltres. if he brings it, or if it's for the Dragonite, if you want to slow it down a little bit. Intimidate, beautiful move, ability to have.
Already learned it. Already gonna use it.
Yes. Return, obviously, is spectacular.
Yep.
This set's a little bit different. Last time we had it split between special defense and defense.
Yep.
This time we have 252 in defense, adamant nature. Mm-hmm. So the return is going to do probably about 45 to 50% to any Pokemon on his team.
That spread with all the HP and defense that screams to me that we're here to deal with things. It's not necessary. I mean, it could knock some stuff out, but it's here to, and that's the way I used it last week too. It's there to mess stuff up for the opponent.
Yes,
it's definitely there to throw like the monkey wrench in their plans and make them switch so that you can switch into what you want, and you kind of do that little dance there. That's what I use Stoutland for. Is you get the Intimidate off, mess up their plans, and you have the coverage for it to stand up to whatever.
Yes.
With the EV investment, that just enhances it, right?
Absolutely. By the way, with Chansey and with Nidoqueen and with like Meganium or other stuff, it's very possible that our opponent will not bring Trick Room, just as an aside.
Good.
So, that's just...
That's what I mean. That's what I was talking about with his team. Is like he's got one Pokemon that has the advantage, really, with Trick Room up.
Yes.
Whereas I've got more, actually.
Potentially, yes. Chansey can really be a monkey wrench for any Pokemon with Trick Room up. So, I mean, that's just something that you would have to keep in mind, or he would, in that sense. But also, Gothitelle is a useful Pokemon. It has, being a Psychic type, it hits a lot of our Pokemon hard. It'll do decent damage to Lucario. It'll do decent damage to Mega Gallade. Super effective to Tentacruel, super effective to Nidoqueen. So, it could potentially do stuff, but at the same time, we have ways to deal with it through brute force. Return is one of them. Gothitelle's not a Pokemon that particularly is offense heavy. So, Thunder Wave, Rock Tomb, Ice Fang, Return. The Ice Fang, a little bit chip damage to the Dragonite. The Thunder Wave is useful as well. A lot of Dragonite carry Lumberry. Keep that in mind. Write that down. A lot carry that because of Outrage, which will cure its confusion. Mm-hmm. So keep that in mind. But for the most part, having the Rock Tomb, having the Ice Fang as ways to deal with it, plus the Intimidate, that's a good combination. Return hits everything hard when it's properly happy. So, okay, and Leftovers is a given, I think, on a Stoutland.
Absolutely.
Next up, we have Tentacruel.
Next, paper.
Yep. So, this Tentacruel is a little bit different in terms of investment. I lowered the speed a little bit, got it to 148. I don't remember the exact reason for the 148. I don't think we needed too much investment in it. Mm-hmm. Some of the Pokemon that we were looking at, I think it was to guarantee to outspeed a Mega Swampert.
Right, and we're gonna Acid Spray and Giga Drain our victory.
Yeah,
to victory against.
I'm just gonna be. Anyway. At 134 is its max speed. I don't remember if I chose to do that for any particular reason, but 116. Oh wait, did I? Oh, that was right. That was why.
Dirty dirt. Okay.
It was Bold Nature. That's what it was. Wanted Bold Nature.
I'm kind of a bold-natured battler. That's what I've learned.
Yeah, I mean, Bold Nature is just it's good to have defensive Pokemon. If we wanted to, we could put Modest on it. Mega Swampert, Tentacruel. Just because I think it would be maybe a little bit more beneficial. That Earthquake still does a lot of damage to us no matter what we do. So that was kind of... See, look, it's still a one-hit KO. Even if you're Bold max defense.
See?
So,
the power of Earthquake, man, I'm telling you.
Shut up. Okay, so 124 into that. What was the set? It was 12, 252, 124. Okay, 124, 252. Modest Nature might be the play. So we have Giga Drain instead of that.
I had to mute my mic and hiss my cat. It was being naughty. So, yes, it is going to get one hit KO'd from the Earthquake, no matter what we do, pretty much. Yes. But as you can see by Swami's calculations here,
so
the
Giga Drain
Acid Spray Giga Drain combination.
Yeah, Giga Drain by itself will do 50% generally. which is a very good amount. That's a very healthy amount. If you catch the Swampert on the Switch, I don't... Actually, no, the attack stays the same. The speed doesn't.
Yeah, on the Switch is what we're talking about for this Acid Spray Giga Drain combo.
No, I mean, not the Switch. I meant that when it switches in before it Mega Evolves.
Right.
But, okay, so C-out says 4.7 to 6.3%.
Yep.
Put it 95%. And we'll put it -2. There you go.
Oh, hello. Very nice.
So
I like that Giga Drain.
Yeah, so Giga Drain does its mark. It'll do a lot. 116 actually, but
perfect.
It'll do its mark. So that's why I had it. Bold Nature. We're not going to do Bold Nature. We're going to do Modest Nature. Get that little bit of extra damage. Plus the Scald will do something, and Rapid Spin for those hazards. Mm-hmm. So Giga Drain, Rapid Spray, Acid Spray, Rapid Spin, Scald. Liquid Ooze. I mean, is there any reason not to have Liquid Ooze? No, because of Leech Seed. If he wants to Leech Seed, we can prevent that.
Take care of that. I'm good with that.
Okay.
Yeah,
so next
not much else to talk about with Tentacruel. I mean, I'm pretty comfortable with it at this point already.
Yeah, that's good. Okay, next up is Mega Gallade.
Yep.
So, Sword Stance, Close Combat, Knockoff, you know the drill. So, Mega Gallade, I want to show you what it does at +2. So, Mega Gallade at +2 does a hell of a lot of damage to pretty much everything. See, Close Combat, one-hit KOs the Mega Swampert.
You need to be able to save teams on this side of this thing. I'm just saying, Mr. Pokemon Showdown Calculator person. You need to be able to save teams on these so you can just select from a drop-down of those 6 teams. Just saying. There's that import team thing.
Oh, is there really?
Look at that.
I don't know if that's...
See, I was just saying if you could import it not only to your side, but to the other side. So I can import his team in there. That's an aside, but just saying.
Yeah.
Somebody tweet him.
Yes, absolutely. Okay, so Close Combat, one-hit KOs, Mega Swampert with at +2.
Yes.
At 0, it doesn't, but you know what? That's still a good amount of damage, and you're going to outspeed, so you'll be able to take it out. +1, not exactly. So that was just an idea that if I wanted to put like bulk up on it or something, but a +1/+1 could, but nah. Right. +2 for the added damage output. So we're worried about Gothitelle.
Yeah.
So Gothitelle is one of those Pokemon that literally Satan. Wow. Put that down to level 50.
Literally Satan.
Knockoff is almost a one-hit KO on Gothitelle at 0, at no investment. I mean, no, without a Sword Stance.
Knock it off.
Knock it off. That thing gets annihilated. So, you know, that's just to keep that in mind, that it's a Pokemon that, yeah, it's an issue, but we have ways to deal with it. Staraptor was another one that I wanted to show you, just because of that normal set. U-Turn does a lot, but Brave Bird, Double Edge, those sort of things, that does a lot of damage. 78%, so to 92%. So if we want to, if this is a more defensive one, then obviously it'll be a little bit different.
Right.
But at the same time, throw on some Stealth Rocks, you start chipping away at this sort of thing. There's only so much that it can do to you. So just keep that in mind. And last but not least, this was the spot I had a lot of trouble with, and I want to see if you like this here or if you want something else. So
yes. I'm looking at the moveset right now.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay.
Because this. Here's why. I'll let you explain totally. You the man. Just saying, I love the fact that we have another sweeper-ish here. I love the fact that we have some more attack here. We have some more aggression here. Yeah, I might get the floor wipe with my ass, but if I get on a roll, that's going to be a quick game. And I liked being able to use this strategy. I liked having to struggle a little bit last week. But I'm also not opposed to running through his team with some Gallade and Lucario action. Like, I am an aggressive, offensive type of player by nature, so I feel comfortable immediately seeing this set and the investment into attack and speed.
Okay.
That being said, tell me what you want to tell me.
So, well, there's two things. One, I really had a lot of trouble figuring out, do we put Chansey here? Do we put something else here? And I didn't really think we had many other options. I thought, okay, Chansey loses too much momentum, especially because of the Gourgeist.
Right.
If that wasn't there, Chansey would be the 6th Pokemon most likely. But because of the Gorgeist, because even the Conkeldurr, with enough investment, you can counter and take it out even if it Drain Punches you. So that's really cool, by the way. Yeah, Drain Punch, counter, gone. Actually, I think a knockoff even could kill it, but a knockoff to you counter. But either way, Lucario, Inner Focus, Swords Dance, Close Combat, Ice Punch, Rock Slide. So I wanted max speed Lucario because if Moltres is max speed, that's going to be an issue because that's a speed tie.
Right.
And you do not want to trust a speed tie. I don't think the Moltres is going to be... I don't think it's going to be max speed. I just don't know.
Just in case.
Just in case, I thought we would go the safer route and do that. The Rock Slide annihilates it. It doesn't even need to be anything besides just being utterly amazing. Just take a look. Let's see. Instead of Extreme Speed, Rock Slide. Just because I thought Rock Slide. Also, Rock Slide has the chance to flinch.
Oh my god.
Yeah, you saw that?
I was like, whoa. Yeah, that 148%. Woo. Oh yeah, that's a lot too.
Full investment, not bold nature, but no one's going to do bold, and that's without a Swords Dance. So, like...
Yeah, I'll Rock Slide that Moltres into Oblivion. Thank you very much.
Also, because it has the opportunity to be... whatchamacallit, 30% chance to flinch. That was another thing to look at. But the one thing I'm not sure on is Focus Sash or Life Orb. I feel like having the Focus Sash might benefit you more because, just hear me out on this. Say that he starts getting some Dragon Dances up with the Dragonite.
Yeah.
And he suffered any amount of damage. Dragonite could annihilate you. Pretty simply, but it just, I mean, that's what it does. Put it at +1, that thing is running through teams. Put it +2, whatever. That's another reason I didn't want to bring Chansey. That thing can set up.
Yeah, definitely.
So, say he's at 99%. See how it does 53 to 62?
Yep.
It's a one-shot. So if you have Stealth Rocks up, if you've done any damage to it, then you take it out. So I think Focus Sash is probably the better solution because we're already getting a huge damage output from Swords Dance.
Yeah, let's do that.
And because it's not the bulkiest Pokemon, I thought having Life Orb might not be the best solution. I don't know. That was just my thought. So Rock Slide does a lot. Ice Punch, really good for dealing with the Gourgeist. That's another Pokemon that if you run into it, because that thing can really just be a pain in the ass, you go the defensive version of it. See how little that does? But you make it +2, you're going to be able to start taking it out.
Yep.
And it really can't do anything much back to it. I guess it could Will-O-Wisp you, but then you could start setting up in its face, and it really just can't do much. So,
Drain Punch, okay. Yeah.
Did I choose Jolly? I think I chose Jolly. Okay, so, but still, it's a good amount of damage. So, Gourgeist is...
Ice Punch with the Gourgeist. Huh?
Yeah, I mean, Gourgeist isn't exactly the Pokemon that you want to be dealing with a Lucario when you can be, being a Nidoqueen, doing Nidoqueen things. Modest, and... Because that's without any investment. Modest, Life Orb.
Yep.
So, I mean, look at that damage. That's for full HP defensive Gourgeist. That's a lot of damage to it. So,
Ice Beam. Ice Beam. Yes, please.
So,
that Ice Weakness really kills him in a lot of senses, I feel like. A couple of his most powerful Pokemon are weak to ice.
Absolutely. And he hasn't brought Tornadus once. He hasn't brought Conkeldurr either. I'm not going to say that's going to stay the same, but the fact that he hasn't brought them is a little bit interesting. I don't know why.
That's kind of funny, too. Conkeldurr, Tornadus, Raticate. Raticate, I would expect not being brought.
I probably would expect Tornadus not being brought because it's not a very good Pokemon. It's a tier 3 Pokemon, but it's really not. It can hit kind of hard, but I'm not a huge fan of Tornadus in general. I think the other genies are a lot better. But Conkeldurr, there's really not a good reason not to bring Conkeldurr every week.
Right.
So for you not to bring your tier 1, that's something I'm kind of confused by. But the Mega Swampert hasn't done much work for him yet, which is a good thing. But we have ways to deal with it. I chose not to go too much on the grass route. I think Giga Drain is enough for that.
Yeah.
I think because Gallade with a +2 will outspeed anyway, I think a close combat can really just annihilate it. And that was really the point, that if we start getting boosts up, we can switch into Stoutland, whittle it down a little bit, and then clean it up with a... Because remember, you don't have to go and one-shot everything. That's one of the things that I always look for. I don't care about the 92 to 109. I care about how much is Gourgeist going to take from Stealth Rock. It's a guaranteed OHKO after Stealth Rock damage. That's... You know, you want to start building up your hazards. You want to start working on that sort of thing. Right. So... You know, that's something to keep in mind more so than...
Yeah, I was going to say that the hazards kind of negate the whole... I mean, okay, so Thunder Wave, how does that work for Trick Room? Because that's a new question.
Thunder Wave will make it the slowest.
If I throw Thunder Wave on there, that's gonna make it the automatic slowest.
Thunder
even
Wave...
though Trick Room is predicated on stats, though, for speed, right?
Thunder Wave, being paralyzed, quarters your speed.
Oh, okay, so that's why it's like automatic first, but it's not technically automatic.
Correct.
Okay.
So
Shit.
for a Gallade, which we'll get to, you know, Mega Gallade being like 168, whatever that was.
Because what I went to in my head is like, okay, Stoutland, let me drop this T-Wave on it, and then we'll have a party. But no, not so much.
I mean, see, look, 178.
Yeah.
So quartering that, it'd be, what, like 45, somewhere in there? Like 44?
Yeah.
If you wanted to go in that direction and you wanted to go minus nature on a Gourgeist, you could technically get that down to, let's see, Brave Nature. 66.
Okay.
So, you know, if you have a Pokemon that's a little bit slower, like maybe Fortress,
yeah,
that could actually still be slower than you, because it's base 40 speed.
Okay.
Say 60, 0, right there, it's already slower.
Drop some status on it. Okay.
So, you know, it's just one of those things that you want to slow down. Obviously, you can't Thunder Wave a Swampert, so keep that in mind.
Yeah.
But also, do not Thunder Wave a Conkeldurr. Please don't.
I mean, I might be dumb, but I hope that you understand that I see the thing holding a steel beam, and I'm like, you know...
No, I mean, just
2 equals derp. Can't do that.
Yeah, the guts is going to be the death of you. I mean, also Assault Vest is a very common item on that, so that's just something to keep in mind, that this thing really hits tremendously hard. But look at this. That's no investment.
I mean, Psycho Cut?
I mean, not no investment. That's no, whatchamacallit? That's no plus. And look how much damage it's doing back to you.
Yeah, I think I need to swap in Mega Gallade if I see Conkeldurr.
Even at -2, like if you used Close Combat twice.
yeah, I'm okay with that.
So, if you
and
use
I don't
Close
want
Combat,
you. I mean, Psycho Cut first, please.
Yeah, so...
Plainly obvious. And then you have the chance of the crit with Psycho Cut as well, which, you know,
might
happen,
higher
might
percent
not.
chance. And if you crit, then it's obviously dead.
Yeah.
So that's the point, that I wanted to just kind of get all that across. So we actually let this video go a little bit long, but I wanted to explain everything to you and for you to kind of get the lay of the land with his team. Any other questions based on his team?
No, I think we pretty much got it covered. I don't mean any disrespect by saying we've got it covered. I mean, we have the strategy covered. Corey, it's going to be a good game, going to be a good match. I look forward to it. Thanks as always to SwamiStudios. And yeah, we made it a little shorter than last time, so thank you guys for watching. And be on the lookout at youtube.com/justplaypokemon on Sunday for the battle against Corey. So thanks for watching, guys. I appreciate your support.
Peace.